Hey guys, and welcome back to my Sims career build challenge where I make houses in The Sims using the IRL UK salary. Today I am building a house for a lecturer, more specifically an archaeology lecturer. So the average salary for lecturers in the UK is £34,998 a year. So that is the budget I have set for this house. Now the house on the left is for a teacher in the UK, which I have done in a previous video, so I'll link that in the card above. The layouts for these two houses are very, very different, and I know that in the UK, terraced houses tend to be very much the same, but since these houses are both for the education career, and I have another video planned where I'm going to do a professor next door, I wanted to make them terrace houses. I just thought that would be interesting, so just bear with me on that one. So for this terrace house, they have an extension on the back. I have cut out the bit where I do the roof because it's literally the same as the other house, but for this particular house, I have changed the windows up a little bit to make it a little bit more sophisticated, because the idea I have for this build is that there is an old woman, well, I say old, between 50 and 60 years old. She's a lecturer. She has a daughter who is now grown up and has a daughter of her own. So you'll see in a bit, but I do get onto the daughter's old bedroom, which is my favourite room of the house. First, I'm starting with the most important room for an archaeology lecturer, which is the archaeology room, or the office, whatever you would like to call it. So my idea was that it was an extension on the house. It doesn't quite look like the conservatory extensions that you would see, but the windows at the back, the door and the window situation that we've got going on, that's the kind of conservatory vibe I wanted for this. So I was happy with the way it turned out. It took me quite a while to find the vibe I wanted. I didn't really have much inspiration going into this. I just knew that I wanted it to be very archaeology based and old fashioned. I wanted it to have loads of clutter and feel really lived in, and I felt like I could do this because we had a lot more money. The budget for the last build was just under 19,000, which is hardly anything when you're building in The Sims. So I felt like I was really scared to spend money. I could have made the house bigger, but because I wanted to clutter it, I kept it smaller so I could really overclutter this place. Here I decided I'm actually going to use a dining table instead of a office table, desk, a freaking desk. So yeah, I use a dining table instead of a desk because I wanted it to be on the left so that the shelves didn't clip in with the computer. But this chair is what gave me the inspiration for pretty much the rest of the house, like the green, the florals. I just loved it and I went with it. So you will see the green and the florals just cropping up everywhere, especially in this archaeology room. I spent a while trying to find the right wood, but this wallpaper swatch with the kind of warmish light wood, it's not like super orange, but like I like it and I don't like warm wood. So that's what I went with for the entire house. I wanted it to look old, and I think old houses, they don't have white wood. That's kind of like a newer thing, you know. Old houses, it tends to be dark, but I've gone with the lighter wood. Yeah, we've got the vibe that's grandma. I really enjoyed doing this because it's not something I ever do in my personal builds, so I really had a lot of fun. I'm adding the last bit of clutter here into the office, and then I'm going to move on to the living room. The living room caused me so many problems. I have this issue when I'm building living rooms that I don't think before I build them. So building this, I was just focused on my little conservatory. I love my little conservatory. But then how do we get to the conservatory? Because you've got to go through the living room to get to it, which really does limit the space you can use. So I go in first by using this fireplace. I think it's the Christmas pack fireplace, I'm not sure. But because we do actually have chimneys at the top of these buildings, and I actually didn't use a fireplace in the previous build, so I decided that I really wanted a fireplace in this build. So I've put one in, and naturally you want some chairs around the fireplace. I didn't want to put a big flat screen TV above the fireplace because they're always too high. I know in houses where there's no other options, you will just put it above the fireplace. but that wasn't ideal. Then I started putting in the chairs and realised I was just blocking off that walkway and there's no space for a TV. Where would I put a TV here? If you have a better idea than me, please let me know, because grandma doesn't get a TV. I'm sorry, I've not given her one. I definitely wanted her to have some books, so I put this little bookshelf in, and it's almost just like a reading nook, but that is the entirety of the living room. I have given her a cat tree because I've decided that she lives alone now. She's probably a bit lonely, so she's got her cat for company, and that's why she only needs 2 armchairs. It's actually quite sad now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's how it is. Now, this space looks so empty at the moment, so I have to go in with a lot of clutter. The thing that really brings the space together is actually the ceiling fan. You'll see me pop that down in a little bit, but here I am just trying to figure out how to do the key bowl table. I'm not sure what you'd call that table by the door, but I'm pretty sure everyone has some sort of table by the door, right? And you put your keys on the table. I didn't even put a bowl in, I don't think. I don't know where she's going to put her keys. Anyway, this is a ceiling fan, and it just brings the space all together. But see this little bug I noticed? None of the lights would like appear if I put them inside the ceiling fan. But when you look through the mirror, you can actually see the light. So it is there, and it is lighting up the space. You just can't see it. My grandma, I don't know why I just call her grandma. My nan, she's what inspired that little ceiling fan light combo, especially like the light fixture that I actually used. She had that in her living room. So now I have moved on to the kitchen, and this is where I really hone in the old lady vibes. The dark wood and the yellow just scream old people kitchen. And again, I don't ever make old builds. When I'm building stuff in my own game files to play with, I always want them to look modern and nice and what I would want to live in. I would not like this kitchen. If I had this kitchen, I would want to just rip it out. I mean, it has a little bit of character, but can you imagine how old and like broken everything is? Like, there's probably damp inside the cabinets. Like, even on the swatches, you can see that the wood is kind of like not peeling away. That's probably not the right thing, but just on the edges of the shelves, like the varnish, that's what it is, the varnish is coming off. So I just finish off the kitchen by adding in so much grandma clutter, as I'm calling it, which includes a little stand for the cakes, because if you're going to come around to grandma's, she has to have cakes. That's just the rule. My nan, whenever I go around to her house, she always gives us food. It was usually cheese toasties, which I know is not cakes, but me and my sister were obsessed with my nan's cheese toasties. So I just associate nans and grandmas with, they always have food. So doing a budget check here, I'm actually doing quite well. I've got 15k left, which I've spent 20k, which is more than half of my budget, but I'm not actually stressed about that because I've done all of the building, and I think the building is what costs quite a lot of money. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't tend to look at how much things cost when I'm actually building my house in The Sims. I think that's quite common. You just build. Even if you're building in your live saves, because you never spend all your money. Maybe that's just me. Do go back later on and add a laundry washing machine, because I have quite a lot of money left over. We go into the bathroom. Now, I'm not going to bore you. It's a bathroom. There's nothing special. I think when we get higher budgets and I can have, more than one bathroom in the house, I probably could have fit more than one bathroom in this house, to be honest, but it works well with just one bathroom, okay? The size of the house is a 1-bathroom house. If I'd made the house bigger, I probably could have fit 2 bathrooms in, and I could have afforded 2 bathrooms, but your girl wanted the clutter, okay? So I'm really happy with this bathroom. I think it's really cute. I think it gives the old lady vibes with the tiles on the floor, and then the matching wallpaper. I think it's paint, not wallpaper, but I was really happy with how well those colours matched. So yeah, the bathroom's got everything you need. It's nothing special. I go in with the cheapest banister, which you're probably saying, oh, you could have bought something more expensive. I love that banister, okay? I love it. It's like a wall without being an actual wall. Moving on to her bedroom, here we come back with our green floral theme that I was inspired by that one chair, but I keep it very old-fashioned. I wanted to imagine that this is the room where she keeps her favourite pieces of archaeology stuff, and I don't know why that meant that I wanted the furniture in her room to look old, but it just felt like that went well. Like, you see that bedside table? It's kind of the varnish is coming off again, that's obviously really old, and then we have the matching non-matching vanity chest of drawers. I just love it. We've got a little bed for the cat, again matching the green theme. I toy around with a rug. I do actually go back in and put a rug in, so if you download this build you will see that there is a rug. Now I'm moving on to her daughter's bedroom, and I know what you're thinking, I thought she was an old lady. What do you mean her daughter's bedroom? So my idea is that she lived there, maybe she lived there with her husband. I don't know where the husband is, like maybe he's dead, maybe they're divorced, I don't know, didn't think that far through. But the daughter, I really did think that far through. So she lived in this house growing up. This is her childhood bedroom, and it became her teenage bedroom as well. And then she went off to university. And so she does have a desk. It's very much a young teen room, as if they maybe redecorated it when she was 13. And then once she grew out of that, there was no point redecorating it because she was going to university. But she's got the desk and everything and the toys. And then she went to university and she never moved back in. And her mum has just never got round to sorting out her old bedroom. And her old bedroom has now become the clutter room, because this lady is an archaeology lecturer. She's got so many old samples, old textbooks, maybe like student notes and stuff, old lecture notes, because she's changed up her curriculum, move-in boxes maybe that she's holding on to for her daughter. I clutter this room up so much because this room has become the dumping ground, right? But you will also see that I have put a little travel cot in there, because I'm thinking that the daughter has a baby and the daughter will come round and stay with grandma for a little bit. I don't know actually where the daughter sleeps. Maybe the daughter clears off the bed and sleeps in the bed. That probably makes the most sense, because you can imagine that in the actual real world scenario of this, they would be able to just pick the things up. I don't think this is actually usable as a bedroom. I did not play test it, but my intention wasn't for it to be used as a bedroom. But I imagine that she comes round to visit grandma and the baby will sleep in that crib, and I guess she will sleep in the single bed. Or maybe they have like an air mattress and they put the air mattress in the living room, because we all know that there's enough space for an air mattress on that floor. But anyway, yeah, I spend way too long cluttering this up, and I actually come back and clutter it up even more. I've definitely gone with the super, super pink theme. I just really went all in on like the storytelling aspect for this room, which I really like doing that. Now moving on to this nook, you're probably not going to like this, but so I don't think it's uncommon for houses to have a little nook like this. It definitely wouldn't be settled by this. It's like a drying rack area. If The Sims had those areas that you just pop up in your living room, I would put them there. That's what I wanted, like an indoor clothesline. But they don't have it, so that's why I put these shelves up, and I'm like, oh, well, this is where they dry their clothes. I did toy with the idea of having it as a closet, like a walk-in wardrobe type thing, or a little bathroom, but it would have been like a 1x2 tile space, and it would have blocked off that front window. And I just thought, like, this is too unrealistic, and we're adding an extra room for what? It's just going to make the space feel a lot smaller, which is why I made that little nook. I'm actually done now with this build. Like, this build could be complete, and I had 7k left, so I'm now going in, cluttering it all up with little archaeology bits. So I put a geode downstairs and an archaeology book, and I still now have loads of money left. I think because the last build was just so difficult to stay within the budget, I was too scared to buy expensive pieces of furniture. Like, I still bought cheap pieces of furniture because that's what I felt like I had to do. Like, I made the house smaller than it needed to be. I know it's a terraced house, but you can really make a terraced house any size, to be honest. I've stayed in a terrace house that's like 3 floors, 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, living room, like, you know what I mean? You can have big terrace houses. So I could have made it bigger, but I was too scared to do that. And even after cluttering, I still have 6k left. So I just move on to the garden and like go for it. I wanted this garden to be messy. She's old, she's not getting out gardening as much as her next door neighbour can. Her next door neighbour's got a beautiful little garden. I really enjoyed making that, but I wanted it to look like expensive, so a bit more expensive than her neighbour. I found these today. I can't remember what pack they're from, but I don't even think they're from the build buy like debug menu. You can just buy them like normally without any cheats or anything. On the house next door, I actually went and found debug items and manipulated them with the tool mod and moved them into the ground. And then I found out that like I didn't have to do that to make curbs because they literally have curbs already. So I was feeling really smart when I did it on the other house, and then I just felt really stupid when I found out that I could just place these objects. So I have cluttered up the front garden, made it really overgrown. I do go in and add some plant pots. I'm thinking over the years that she has collected some plants, maybe gifts, maybe just things she likes. They're not very well looked after, like that one looks overgrown, the big tall one. They have not been moved in a while. They're only really being watered because of the rain. That's what I'm thinking. So I put a little bird box in because I can imagine that she might like to sit on the chair inside and look out the window, just, you know, crane her neck back and watch the birds. And then I've still got 4k left. So I move on to the back and I start adding things in the back garden. Oh, no, I add light switches, yes, because those, I think they're 20 simoleons. Light switches are really gonna make a difference, but I do like the finer details. There you go, there's that rug I was talking about. And I just try and add bits of clutter just to waste some money, really. This video would have been a lot shorter if it wasn't a budget challenge. Can you imagine doing a budget challenge and struggling to spend all the money? I feel like I've really failed this challenge. I love the build, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love the story, I love the amount of clutter, but I just feel like, could I have done more? I don't know. So anyway, I am just finishing off by doing the back garden. Again, I make it messy, but there wasn't much I could add here that would really make sense for her to have as an archaeology lecturer. So I do keep it quite simple. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you want to see next, which career build you would like me to do. By the time that this is out, I will have uploaded this to the gallery. My ID is ttv_rain_x because rain_x was taken. But anyway, if you'd like to download this, there is no custom content in the actual build, and I will list the packs I have used in the description. I also stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch, and that's rain_x on Twitch. So I'm just going to leave you with the screenshot, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you with a new one next Friday.